talking about the references, like the Dali reference, or
Yeah.
when I was having the workshop, we talked about a lot about paintings, and you actually
Yeah.
introduced me to world of paintings. And after that, I never like I can't paint. I try, but I love looking at paintings and studying them and everything. Wha- So, what are the other art forms which influence your filmmaking or the way you express yourself right now or throughout? I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I think these are again subconscious. I think they are not
Yeah.
like deliberately done.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just go back few years in my childhood,
Mm-hmm.
I was a Bharatnatyam dancer
Ah.
because my aunt, my dad's sister,
Huh.
was younger sister who's now in Australia and is teaching there.
Uh-huh.
Uh, she used to have, in fact, 4 5 centers in India, in Bombay, where she used to teach. And I
Oh.
used to, like a kid, go with her
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
And besides enjoying the eating, like one place was famous for the jalebis and one place was famous for the cheese piece dosa. I still remember all that
Uh-huh.
very vividly. I used to love just tagging along and dancing, you
Huh.
know.
Huh.
So, and then I did ballets also. I was small, but I think somewhere that sense of rhythm, that sense of grace, I don't know. I think an art form
Hmm.
somewhere creates something in you.
Yeah.
So after she left, when she got married, I didn't pursue it forward.
Hmm.
I don't remember the exact age, maybe fourth standard, fifth standard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the age, but that maybe left something of an artistic impression in me of,
Okay.
some kind.
Hmm.
uh, and then there was dad, who is or has studied rather for about more than 12 15 years Indian classical music.
Oh.
So he's again not a professional, doesn't do it now, in
Uh-huh.
fact, but it is something that again I think is was there in the environment. Not that he
Yeah.
used to do riyaz every day or
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
but he's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
singing or he's to make you hear something. I don't know. It's there somewhere in the
Mm-hmm.
air, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I don't understand. And I don't know, I have not yet wanted to make the attempt to understand the nuances of a rag. I can't identify this is one rag from the other.
Yeah.
But in certain moments, I just sing some alap. I don't know what the hell it is. And then I
Mm-hmm.
ask my dad or I ask other friends who are into music. And they're like, yeah, this sounds like this or this sounds like that. And I have not heard that. I've not heard it immediately or anything.
Huh.
So again, it's something that is, I don't know, something that's, I don't know if it can be passed genetically at all, but it's something like that gives me joy. That is an
Yeah.
art that is instinctively part of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I think there are these influences.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
has not been, and then I think the visual influence of photography again.
Mm-hmm.
At one level, before making films, I've been involved in photography. So maybe the attraction to the visual world is strong.
Mm-hmm.
So the sense of uh, the visual aesthetics being very
Mm-hmm.
important for me. Like I would
Yeah.
not just take a random camera and shoot
Yeah.
something
Yeah. Yeah.
unless I want to do that as a style, which I would
Uh-huh.
not maybe enjoy so much. As I said, I want to
I'm sure.
create a world, create a world. And
Yeah.
how am I bringing my world? But documentary in real life is about capturing what is.
Hmm.
So then interesting process with Mamaiji was that we did a whole mock shoot, and not with her, with myself. And it was
Hmm.
very funny. I don't have those stills. I would have showed you otherwise. But like I'm dressed up as
Uh-huh.
Mamaiji just to get a little feel of the,
Yeah.
the space and all that. And so there also I remember I had a assistant, Tushar, who
Mm-hmm.
was my student in Digital Academy, and I think that was
Hmm.
part of the session where I was doing film appreciation for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I called him on board, and he was assisting me in direction, and we did this whole mock shoot,
Yeah.
and the cinematographer was not a cinematographer. He was my friend. Unfortunately, he's no more, Martin Xavier, but he was a dear friend, and he was a still photographer. He
Oh.
was not so much into cinematography per se.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he must have done some video,
Huh.
but I convinced him, and I was very clear about like what is the shot I want, what is
Hmm.
the lighting I want. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, you go and get this done.
Hmm.
That is your problem now. You get it. I want this illusion. So he kind of so I was not working with like professionals of
Yeah.
the very specific industry, as in like a cinematographer who's done 10
Yeah.
films. But I think I managed to kind of get a professionalism which I'm proud of. And the
Yeah. Yeah.
sound, interestingly, was by Ayan, who is very talented, and In fact, is making, I think, a lot of films and has his own work now.
Mhm.
Uh, I remember I told him about this universe, and he told me, "Look, I'm giving you suspended notes. So your music is also like in a suspended reality." And I asked him like a whole detailed thing. I said, if there is any interview, I can like elaborate on how the hell is it a suspended note.
Yeah,
But he never really gave me the details of it. But I believe him that they're suspended notes. So yeah,
yeah.
at all levels,
Okay.
you're getting suspended into reality.
About the visual aesthetic, you said that
Yeah,
genuinely, like the film, I was a trailer of the feature film, but all the like the short films, one we worked on, one I've seen, the
yeah.
actually they look like paintings, and as you mentioned, that is very subconscious, and that is your pure aesthetic, and that is seen on in all the three films that I've seen. uh, but there is one thing you were talking about, that layman may not understand what you're trying to say. So while making a
Hmm.
film, do you have
Hmm.
any aspect of what the audience will understand in your head or not, or else because that might limit you? And what is your approach towards this very popular thing that I've been working whole day? Why will I choose to watch a film which is like trying to tell me who am I and exploration of these questions, rather than just watch a film called, maybe, I don't know, Judwa or something like that? So what are your takes on both these things? Yeah.
So as I said right initially, that it depends on what kind of where you want to go in the spectrum. Do you want to make a commercial film? If I am
Hmm.
being told I am going to make money and I decide I want to make a commercial film and I
Hmm.
want to entertain people, or I want to make films in the mainstream medium, then I will not be like maybe doing a heavy dose of who am I.
Okay.
That will slip in, right?
Ha ha ha.
But and therefore then there I would want to entertain them. I would like to use genre conventions. I would like to satisfy those needs.
Hmm. Hmm.
But if I'm making an independent film, I'm making an art film, it is the audience's duty not to be entertained. Please, that's the difference. I am not obligated to them, they are obligated to me. Because if they're coming to watch art cinema, they come with that perspective. They're supposed to come with that perspective of not being entertained. That's what I believe. People can disagree with them. I don't care. But I feel that life is about,
It's
art
more
is
about
about
engagement.
discovering. Yes, perfect. That's the word.
Hmm.
Engagement is the word.
Hmm.
And it's not about, I mean, then in the name of art, again, you can do anything,
Yeah.
which are interesting experiments, but then that is the extreme spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, we've got artists who have recorded a man sleeping for 12 hours, 9 hours, wo dekho, wo bhi art hai. I mean, I like the idea of it,
Huh.
but then I can understand, yes, that will be boring for somebody.
Yeah.
So, wo extremes hai, but I think that is beautiful. That see, what is art? Art is all
Hmm.
about perspective.
Hmm.
That is something that somebody who wants to see art should understand.
Hmm.
What is art? Why is a Dali interesting? Why is Cubism so great? What did Cubism do?
Hmm.
Cubism brought a perspective which is different, right?
Hmm.
What is Surrealism doing? What did Dadaism do? Like you have this very, I'll talk about Marshall Duchamp when we talk about Dadaism,
Hmm.
which is like way back in the 90s, 1900s, where we are talking, and it still continues today as
Yeah.
postmodernism and conceptual art.
Hmm.
What he did is that he brought a urinal
Hmm.
into the art gallery. A urinal, right? This is not a work of art that he has created either with hand or with paint.
Hmm.
He bought something from the market. I don't think it was a used urinal.
Hmm.
He brought something which was mass produced and he put it in the art gallery. And he said, this is art. Of course, he faced opposition by some
Huh.
people initially and it was banned, etc. But then he
Huh.
had his way and he became so famous and he is an artist of repute. What was he saying? Why is it art? Because he was questioning what is art. He was
Yeah.
questioning the traditional concepts of art.
Yeah.
Art is about looking at the world in a particular way. Art is about questioning rules. It's about looking at things. It's about perspective,
Hmm.
you know. So art is not only about how well you can imitate line, how well you can get form, color. Art is also about a way of looking at something.
Hmm.
And I think that's what is needed when,
Hmm.
so some people say ye to चुतिया बनाता
Pretentious.
है या पागल है. हाँ.
Huh.
So the value in these things is about the perspective, and there is this whole aspect to art that it is about making you see things in a particular way.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, I think there is more power or revolution in the people who started it or questioned it, and it can be used by some lazy artists to create shit and say that it's experimental or it's postmodernist.
Yeah.
So there is a delicate line there.
Uh-huh.
It depends on how sincere you are, how I think how much you've committed yourself to what you're creating.
Yeah. Okay. And like about these are the, like we were talking about the other art forms who have influenced your work. What are the other like cinematic influences you have on your art? Like painting, you paint, like your paintings or your films or anything, the things you write. What are the other cinematic influences on your films?
So if I start first with painting, because when we talk about surrealism, I think that surrealism somewhere came from the painters to me, which I took into cinema.
Okay.
Right. And then abstraction. So I don't know if I've really been able to bring abstraction into play, but Paul Klee or any of the artists who are very minimalist in their work and are kind of speaking through their work is an attraction. So maybe subconsciously these things will come across. So besides painting, and because I think that is kind of the visual aesthetic which is strong in me, I think sorry, I lost the train of thought. I wanted to mention something. What was your question again?
My question was that what are the other cinematic influences on...
Yeah. I got it. So I was really fascinated, as I told you earlier, by I think my cinematic journey really started when I discovered auteurs, when I discovered artists in cinema. So when I saw Bergman, the first film I saw was Persona. And I saw, I don't know if you've seen the film. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have seen it.
So I saw this shot with these two heads just bouncing into frame and coming up. I was like fascinated. I'm like, wow, this is something, what is this? And I feel that these films that have what I think attracted me, which I have not at all touched near to, is that there was like some, I don't know, you can't forget that. It's haunting. There is something so powerful in that, So Bergman, Fellini, Ray, Tarkovsky, these are like artists who are making films, and it's not entertaining. It's about something deeper. It's literally like, I think why cinema is also fascinating is because you'll agree with me that it's a parallel reality we create.
Yeah.
We are playing God. We are creating something that doesn't exist. And forever that will remain with the audience. So if you see Mamaiji, hopefully if you like it and it haunts you in some way, I'm taking haunting as a positive thing here, then she has become a reality for you. She exists like as if she existed for you in the real world, And film can do it compared to the other arts so much more completely. Because you're taking them into the universe. You've got sound and you've got, you've not got touch. But you can create a sensation of touch with sunlight, with water, and with the senses, teasing the senses.
About like speaking about Mamaiji and the first feature film, we'll speak about how the journey of what was the journey of making your first feature film. But in both the things, there is a very heavy influence about you talk a lot about religion. What is your take on religion as an artist and then as a person, or is it the same? Do you think Urvashi Irani as a person and as an artist are two different people, or do you think it's just the one person?
They can't be. Then it's a con. Then you're fake.
Okay.
Isn't it? You're fake then.
Okay.
Oh, what are you doing? How can your art be different from who you are? Then you're fake. Then it's not art. Then you're doing commercially something you're trying to create. Fine.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. But if you're doing pure art and you're saying it's art cinema, that has to reflect you, na, Baba? How can it be false? It'll be fake. So at one level, I think it has to be the same for me. And therefore, as I said that I am not a spiritual person, yet why have I chosen to speak about religion?
Yeah.
In my films, or why is it there? Because as I said, it's an important, I think a unique part of my identity. And I didn't see a lot of films being made on the subject, So I felt it was a need, it was an opportunity, and it was part of my identity. So I
Okay.
felt it kind of fitted all those things. And my stance has always been with the films that I make about going beyond religion, because I feel what religion has become is not what it is supposed to be.
Hmm.
It's like Chinese whispers.
Mhm.
It started off with something else,
Yeah,
something
agreed.
where you're supposed to be empowered.
Hmm.
You're supposed to evolve as
Yeah.
a human being. That's why you're supposed to be spiritual. But unfortunately, in the whole greedy mess of power and rubbish
Hmm.
games that people play for their own advantage, it kind of becomes something very negative
Yeah.
many times. But I would still say that still there is a lot of there are a lot of people who, with the support of religion, I think go through lots of crumble,
Hmm.
because it's not easy to live with this uncertainty of not having anybody there,
Yeah.
of not knowing that there is somebody who will answer your prayers.
Hmm.
And it's a lonely journey to do that, you
Hmm.
know. So for me, I don't believe in like a god, like an idol. Of course, in Parsis we
Hmm.
don't have an idol,
Yeah.
but I still don't believe in the traditional concept, or I don't pray like a traditional Parsi would pray and feel that my problems are going to get solved.
Hmm.
But I do believe, and I think this is another very important aesthetics which is there in me, and I'm sure I think it'll kind of come out more distinctly in maybe my future work.
Yeah.
This concept of good and bad,
Hmm.
not in the sense of binaries, because I teach filmmaking and art and parallel cinema, and I'm not talking about good and bad as a villain and
Yeah.
a hero,
Hmm.
but the whole concept of goodness,
Hmm.
and the whole concept of, I think, somewhere beauty which is related to it.
Hmm.
So beauty and goodness, that essential humanism, that essential love, that essential anything that's positive,
Yeah.
and therefore beauty is a part of it, is
Hmm.
an exploration, I think, in my work.
Hmm.
I am intrigued by evil in that sense, to explore that, is there pure evil, you
Hmm.
know not dwelled in it so much, but
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere I tend to have this instinctive feeling of deep down there is something very innocent,
Yeah.
pure, and good about anybody,
Hmm.
and I would like to believe that.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice.
It just gets corrupted down the way.
Yeah, it does. It does. I really like what you said about the religion becoming like the game of Chinese whispers. Couldn't agree more. But speaking about the first feature film,
Yeah.
I guess that was the first collaboration with Farooq sir.
No, I had also made a short film called The K File, which
Acha, okay.
was kind of like a it was like the most political film I think that I have made. I'm not
Uh-huh.
really a very political person, even though they say every filmmaker is political.
Uh-huh.
Um, and that was basically something which was contemporary, and I felt that, as a filmmaker, I could kind of in that I related to the concept again. I think what I was exploring of evil, with Kasab,
Mhm. Mhm.
and we had a kind of a wish fulfillment that we did in the script.
Okay.
And I didn't really do justice to Farouk's script because it was too complicated and too
Mhm.
for me as a initial. I think this was my second film, my second
Uh-huh.
short film.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I got a set, and we shot in a shooting floor, and I got a gun, licensed gun, and that man was standing there, and I got professional actors, TV actors,
Uh-huh.
and that was my first Farouk script. But I didn't do justice to a Farouk script in the sense of I like damaged it a lot, I think, to be able to fit it in a short duration and
Uh-huh.
make it this. But what was exciting about that, it didn't go great or become viral or anything of that nature, which I thought it would be more popular, not viral, but more popular because it's topical.
Uh-huh.
But the beautiful thing about one memory that is interestingly associated with it is that one day I got up and I was having my chai, and my
Hmm.
mom says, your film is in the headlines in Bombay Times. I'm like,
Oh.
what? Why will my film be in the headlines of
Huh.
Bombay Times? It's not even gone viral.
Huh.
And I was like, surprised, chota sa mera film tha. I put, it said something like Asab is Kasab or something like that.
Hmm.
My character was called Kasab,
Yeah.
Asab. We had done a play on the names.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe something to do with Farouk being so popular, and he must have
Mhm.
sent some forward to all his friends and must have landed up in some journalist's pocket. because nobody interviewed me and it was not viral. But that was a nice, interesting memory.
Actually, my last question is that making a film is a very stressful task. Like everything is going wrong, and there are a lot of things, a lot of aspects. You, as an artist, what and how do you explore something in yourself while making a film? You can be specific to a project, or you can be vague and in general, like tell me how and what do you explore in yourself with each and every project, because the actual process of making a film is like, why would you do that to yourself, you know? That's what Martin Scorsese
Absolutely.
says. Every time I make a film, I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? But
Absolutely.
yeah,
It is crisis management every minute.
yeah,
And
yeah.
especially since I'm always a producer also, so more crisis management.
Yeah, yeah,
So, in fact, I feel that I feel very envious, frankly, of people who have found that ideal crew where
yeah.
there is so much of like a team spirit and matlab
Yeah.
yari dosti hai, and I don't know, I feel very envious of that crew. I have not found it yet. I have had very challenging times, but very satisfying outcomes, and of course, very beautiful moments also. But I don't think I have yet been able to like find that total, comfort level, or that perfect ideal
Yeah.
situation where you can completely get what you want.
Hmm.
I think that's somewhere the challenge, and that's been the struggle, uh, because I've also maybe not made so many films, and I've
Yeah.
given my time to different other things, to
Mhm.
teaching, etc. And filmmaking is not my bread and butter,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I have not therefore been so much into it
Hmm.
that way. But I think that people management, fortunately or unfortunately, is a big problem, or a big aspect of
Hmm.
making a film. And sometimes if you're a sensitive person, like I remember Tom Walter's words on our shoot when I was shooting for my feature, and he was part of the shoot. So once he chupke se came and told me, come here. I said, yeah, what happened? He said, see, you need to be a little more dominating with your crew. Don't let them get away with it. So, of course, sometimes if I'm very sure and I really want to put my foot down, then I put my foot down.
Hmm.
Then nobody is going to get away with it.
Hmm.
But I'm not generally that kind of a person.
Yeah.
I don't like to over dominate, or I
Hmm.
would like to give people space, etc. And sometimes I get in the process, therefore I feel, okay. So I think that is something that I hope gradually with more films or with the team that I work with, there is more of that, like a more relaxing and
Yeah.
peaceful environment rather
Uh-huh.
than a more stressful
Hmm.
creative zone.
Hmm.
But I think the high that you experience of creating something that didn't exist, of being able to say something,
Hmm.
have a voice, I mean, those are all very beautiful things.
Yeah.
And I think they overpower the very humane, mundane things of
Hmm.
power struggles, or I don't know, ego clashes,
Uh-huh.
or anything of that nature.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I think it's the beauty of creation, that
It's
kind
something you
of,
strive
I
for. Yeah.
think, that I strive for, that makes it all worth it.
Mhm. Okay. So on that note, thank you so much for doing this. I had a lot of fun. I think after the workshop, we are actually having such a long conversation after a really long time. So thank you. It was
Yes,
really fun having you, and I hope you had fun doing this.
I enjoyed myself. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at that kind of Jackson Pollock painting behind you, which I don't know what it is. It's not that. But my leaving notes to you would be, do not tell yourself, I don't know painting or drawing. If you love it, explore it. You can just throw paint, look
Yeah.
up action painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And explore your creative self.